Cattle Bos taurus are large, domesticated, bovid ungulates widely kept as livestock. They are prominent modern members of the subfamily Bovinae and the most widespread species of the genus Bos. Mature female cattle are called cows, and mature male cattle are bulls. Young female cattle are called heifers, young male cattle are oxen or bullocks, and castrated male cattle are known as steers. Cattle are commonly raised for meat, for dairy products, and for leather. As draft animals, they pull carts and farm implements. In India, cattle are sacred animals within Hinduism and may not be killed. Small breeds, such as the miniature zebu, are kept as pets. Taurine cattle are widely distributed across Europe and temperate areas of Asia, the Americas, and Australia. Zebus are found mainly in India and tropical areas of Asia, America, and Australia. Sangha cattle are found primarily in sub-Saharan Africa. These types, sometimes classified as separate species or subspecies, are further divided into over 1,000 recognized breeds. Around 10,500 years ago, taurine cattle were domesticated from wild aurochs progenitors in central Anatolia, the Levant, and western Iran. A separate domestication event occurred in the Indian subcontinent, which gave rise to zebu. There were over 940 million cattle in the world by 2022. Cattle are responsible for around 7% of global greenhouse gas emissions. They were one of the first domesticated animals to have a fully mapped genome. The term cattle was borrowed from Anglo-Norman cattle, replacing native Old English terms like kinney, now considered archaic, poetic, or dialectal. Itself from medieval Latin capitol, principal sum of money, capital, itself derived in turn from Latin caput head. Cattle originally meant movable personal property, especially livestock of any kind, as opposed to real property, the land, which also included wild or small free-roaming animals, such as chickens. They were sold as part of the land. The word is a variant of chattel, a unit of personal property, and closely related to capital, the economic sense. The word cow came via Anglo-Saxon c, plural c, from common Indo-European gus genitive geos, a bovine animal, cf. Persian, gav, Sanskrit, go. In older English sources, such as the King James Version of the Bible, cattle often means livestock, as opposed to deer, which are wild. Cattle are large artiodactyls, mammals with cloven hooves, meaning that they walk onto toes, the third and fourth digits. Like all bovid species, they can have horns, which are unbranched, and are not shed annually. Coloration varies with breed. Common colors are black, white, and red, brown, and some breeds are spotted or have mixed colors. Bulls are larger than cows of the same breed by up to a few hundred kilograms. British Hereford cows, for example, weigh 600 to 800 kilograms, 1,300 to 1,800 pounds, while the bulls weigh 1,000 to 1,200 kilograms, 2,200 to 2,600 pounds. 7. Before 1790, beef cattle averaged only 160 kilograms, 350 pounds net. Thereafter, weights climbed steadily. Cattle breeds vary widely in size. The tallest and heaviest is the Chianina, where a mature bull may be up to 1.8 meters, 5 feet 11 in, at the shoulder, and may reach 1,280 kilograms, 2,820 pounds, in weight. The natural life of domestic cattle is some 25 to 30 years. Beef cattle go to slaughter at around 18 months, and dairy cows at about 5 years. Cattle are ruminants, meaning their digestive system is highly specialized for processing plant material such as grass rich in cellulose, a tough carbohydrate polymer which many animals cannot digest. They do this in symbiosis with microorganisms, bacteria, fungi, and protozoa that possess cellulases, enzymes that split cellulose into its constituent sugars. Among the many bacteria that contribute are Fibrobacter succinogenes, Ruminococcus flavefasciens, and Ruminococcus albus. Cellulolytic fungi include several species of neocalamastics, while the protozoa include the Ciliates Eudipodinium magi and Ostracodinium album. If the animal's feed changes over time, the composition of this microbiome changes in response. Cattle have one large stomach with 4 compartments: the rumen, reticulum, omasum, and abomasum. The rumen is the largest compartment, and it harbors the most important parts of the microbiome. The reticulum, the smallest compartment, is known as the honeycomb. The omasum's main function is to absorb water and nutrients from the digestible feed. The abomasum has a similar function to the human stomach. Cattle regurgitate and rechew their food in the process of chewing the cud, like most ruminants. While feeding, cows swallow their food without chewing. It goes into the rumen for storage. Later, the food is regurgitated to the mouth, a mouthful at a time, where the cud is chewed by the molars, grinding down the coarse vegetation to small particles. The cud is then swallowed again and further digested by the microorganisms in the cow's stomach. The gestation period for a cow is about 9 months long. The ratio of male to female offspring at birth is approximately 52 to 48. A cow's udder has 2 pairs of mammary glands or teats. Farms often use artificial insemination, the artificial deposition of semen in the female's genital tract. This allows farmers to choose from a wide range of bulls to breed their cattle. Estrus may be artificially induced to facilitate the process. Copulation lasts several seconds and consists of a single pelvic thrust. Cows seek secluded areas for calving. Semi-wild highland cattle heifers first give birth at 2 or 3 years of age, and the timing of birth is synchronized with increases in natural food quality. Average calving interval is 391 days, and calving mortality within the first year of life is 5%. Beef calves suckle an average of 5 times per day, spending some 46 minutes suckling. There is a diurnal rhythm in suckling, peaking at roughly 6 a.m., 11:30 a.m., and 7 p.m. Under natural conditions, calves stay with their mother until weaning at 8 to 11 months. Heifer and bull calves are equally attached to their mothers in the first few months of life. Cattle have a variety of cognitive abilities. They can memorize the locations of multiple food sources and can retain memories for at least 48 days. 25 young cattle learn more quickly than adults, and calves are capable of discrimination learning, distinguishing familiar and unfamiliar animals, 28 and between humans, using faces and other cues. Calves prefer their own mother's vocalizations to those of an unfamiliar cow. Vocalizations provide information on the age, sex, dominant status, and reproductive status of the caller, and may indicate estrus in cows and competitive display in bulls. Cows can categorize images as familiar and unfamiliar individuals. Cloned calves from the same donor form subgroups, suggesting that kin discrimination may be a basis of grouping behavior. Cattle use visual, brain lateralization when scanning novel and familiar stimuli. They prefer to view novel stimuli with the left eye using the right brain hemisphere, but the right eye for familiar stimuli. Individual cattle have also been observed to display different personality traits, such as fearfulness and sociability.